Hello, it's Jeffrey Saad. I hope you had a great holiday weekend. We had friends in town from San Francisco, and they love pizza as much as we do, and I love my new big green egg, so I made a huge batch of pizza dough. But the secret to pizza dough is to start a week ahead of time. Almost like a mother yeast, a mother dough that a lot of great bakers use. I mix 2 cups of water and 1.5 cups of flour and a packet of yeast. The yeast in the water first, then add the flour. Let it sit out on your counter for a few hours. And then every day throughout the week, put it in the refrigerator, and every day feed it. I give it a 1/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of water, and the yeast just keeps eating and giving off its flavor. And instead of your pizza dough just tasting like flour and water, it tastes like an amazing bread with a deep yeasty flavor. This just got punched down for the last time. It smells so intense. So now I'm gonna punch this down and divide it into balls, and then you'll see the next step. So the dough has risen really several times now in the refrigerator, and I just keep punching it down. Now I'm going to divide it into balls, and a lot smaller than you think, because the goal of a great pizza is to roll it out, at least for me, to roll it out really thin. I cut my hand, I keep this part on the cutting board and press against the dough and just roll it into balls. Now these balls have to sit and rest. It's that gluten, the protein, that makes it so chewy and wonderful, but it's got to rest so that I can pull it out onto the grill. Now the sauce, I just put fennel seed, chili flakes, garlic, and olive oil and toasted it. Nice San Marzano tomatoes. Alright, so the key thing is to have all your ingredients ready. I've got some incredible Taleggio cheese, some soppressata from Salumi in Seattle, some shiitake mushrooms that I roasted with a little bit of olive oil, garlic, marjoram, and then hit it with some white wine until they kind of absorb that. And then here's our sauce, which is a key element. The pizza shouldn't be really saucy or wet. It should just have a little sweetness, a little bit of acidity, and then a great burning heat at the end. Fresh mozzarella, but I let it sit out and drain it so it's not too wet. That way you won't have a puddle on your pizza. The cheese will melt and create these little puddles of mozzarella, but without being watery. And then of course fresh basil. So now is the final step. You've got your pizza dough, you've let it warmed up. You see how you can see through it? You can see that web. If you actually look through the dough into the window, you see that web, that gluten. All right, so we're gonna stretch that out onto our pizza palette. We've got some nice flour on here. A little bit of tomato sauce. My wife grew up in Rome, so she taught me the importance of minimal is maximal flavor. Whether it's salad dressing, pasta sauce, or pizza, you want enough to give you moisture and flavor, but you don't want it soupy. So we're gonna put just that little bit. Then I'm going to put the basil on next because that'll keep it from burning. If I tear the basil leaves and then put the cheese on top, the cheese will melt onto the basil and keep it nice so the basil won't be all burnt on the edges. We're going to put a little of this Salumi, soppressata from Salumi in Seattle. And then we're going to put on our cheese, and I'm just going to tear it in pieces. It doesn't have to be cheese everywhere and covered in cheese. You just want little puddles of mozzarella melting across the top of the pizza. And then we'll leave the edges bare so they'll get a nice golden color. Alright, now it's ready for the egg. This is my third child, my new baby, the big green egg. I love this thing, whether it be pulled pork that was on there for 12 hours or pizza at 700 degrees. So you open it slowly to let the heat out, and then this pizza stone that you can get with the green egg is incredible. It really creates like a wood-fired brick oven in your backyard. We're going to slide that right on there. In about 3 minutes, we're going to have a charred crust and a perfect pizza. I never get enough pizza. 3 minutes, here it is. Nice little black char marks on the bottom, kind of a bubbly crust on the edge. That's the green egg pizza. Hope you had a great holiday weekend. Enjoy.